It's another Tuesday. It's another couple of shots, and it's two guys. That's your two-shot Tuesday advantage. My name is Jason Riley. I'm here with Barry T. Nixon, and I tried something a little different on our intro. What'd you think, Barry?
Fantastic, Jay. I will be tuning in next week just to find out what it is you come up with then.
It's very exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it really
After
is.
5 years and 6 seasons,
Unbelievable.
we got to keep things fresh. Speaking of fresh, I've got a couple of fresh shots here. I assume you have as well. Why don't we
Damn
start
right.
off with shot number 1? What do you have for our listeners and
I'm
viewers?
sticking with a classic, and we do use that word perhaps ad nauseum around here, but I don't care. It is a classic. It is Bushmills 12 Year, and it's in your honor, Jay.
Nice. I'm sticking with a true classic. I went back and dug out some classic Jameson, the
Wow.
original, you might say. Barry, what a coincidence. This one happens to be in your honor. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh, that is strong. That's where Jameson came from. The real strong roots. They've softened it, but the original can still peel some paint. How's the 12 year?
Yeah, it's nice. It's a little chunky at first. It usually is. This is how it goes. But
Yeah.
I suspect that shot 2 will be more velvety.
Yeah, well, we'll find out in due course. We're going to kick off the show a little bit different this time. We're going to start with a rip from the headlines, one that you
Yes.
sent to me. Neither one of us has gone beyond the headline because that's what we do here on the show. We give you the news one headline at a time. We read it. We go deeper in. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Mercury, the planet that shouldn't exist. It's not
I
a
know.
question. It's a statement. It's very
Yeah.
definitive. What do you think about that?
It sounds a little hostile, if I may.
Yeah.
I mean, who are we to tell a planet it shouldn't exist?
We
What is
did it.
happening, Jay?
We did it with Pluto. You remember? Pluto,
Yeah,
it exists, but it's
it
not
got
a planet.
demoted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to rock. What did it get to? A moon? Is it a moon?
It's a good question. Is
I
it
don't
an
know.
asteroid? Is it a comet?
But
It's not a
Mercury,
comet, but yeah.
like Mercury is so much more, it's closer, it's
Yeah.
bigger. Why shouldn't it exist? I wonder. Is it just an act of God that it exists, do we think? What do you think it means?
Jay, there is so much to unpack here. We know so little about our own solar system. We don't even know when it started. So to think
Yeah.
that Mercury has no business being part of it is kind of arrogant, if I may. I don't know who wrote the article, but whoever it was, I don't know. I'm not sure where that came from. Maybe that's
Maybe,
it's
you
a
know
deeper
what?
issue that they're working through. I have no idea.
I think it came from the Saturnites, those that really
Yeah,
believe
right.
in Saturn, because it's
Yeah.
got the ring, it's pretty fancy, and I wouldn't be surprised if in this social media age, Saturn is somehow trying to push out some of these other planets by just essentially calling them fake news. They shouldn't be. And so
That's
while they're
interesting.
there, they're
Yeah.
denying their existence. So do you think that could be something?
I think you're onto something, and you definitely are right when you say that Saturn, it's a sexier world because of the
It is.
rings.
Yeah.
I have been watching a BBC documentary recently about planets hosted by Professor Brian Cox, not the actor. This guy's a proper scientist. And
Okay.
yeah, like,
Tell me about it. Let's go
it's
deep
kind of
into
cool because we're talking about rings. So he
Yeah.
theorizes that one day there's like this small moon that orbits Mars that every year
Okay.
gets closer and closer. It's not really a full moon. It's like a mini moon, but
A
it's
mini
getting
moon.
closer and closer and being pulled in by the gravity of Mars. That one day it's going to fracture and part of it will land on Mars' surface and the rest is going to be spread out around the planet. And Mars one day will be what he calls a ringed world. And I thought, wow, imagine how cool that is. And then you say, well, one
Yeah.
day in the not too distant future of 50 million years.
I was going to say, this
Yeah.
isn't 2030 we're talking
No,
about.
it's not.
It never
Yeah.
is with the universe. It
never
never
is.
ever is.
Completely different time scale, but one
Yeah.
day our ancestors will hopefully be able to see that Mars has joined the sexier planets and has a ring of its own. So I thought that was
50 million.
kind of neat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, did Professor Cox, is
Yeah.
he a professor, Dr.
He's
Cox?
a professor, PhD.
Did he get into at this point in the show? Have you watched the whole thing?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so we're getting to it. Good. I hope you'll keep us updated. Has he gotten into Mercury at all, and potentially some clues that might take us beyond the headline as to why it definitively should not exist, according to the writer of this piece?
Yeah, he has not gotten into Mercury. This episode's actually called Dark Worlds. So they're
Mm,
talking about things like asteroids and smaller worlds that we don't really know much about. That are
okay,
usually like, you're talking about moons. There's a whole whack of moons out there, Jay. It's not
for
just
sure.
our moon, as I learned. I thought our moon was the only moon in town. As it
You
turns
did?
out, it's one of, well, not really, but you know what I'm saying. Like that's the more famous moon because it's ours. But
Yeah,
there's a
we
ton
lay
of them
claim
out
to
there,
it.
Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know. Like, I mean, just think about it. And I'm obviously not a professor of space in any way, but like you just look out, like we're orbiting one sun, and
Yep.
every star you see in the sky is a sun with things orbiting that. Like, and we're just like one.
It's
We're
crazy.
like, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
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 Tell me more about this. So, is this a series that you've gotten into? It's on 4K? I bet you've added it as part of the physical media.
No, it's not
Oh,
available for sale. No, I've just
okay,
been watching it on BBC Earth, which is a channel that I subscribe to, and it was in
okay.
HD, not 4K, but still looks fantastic. And it's a documentary series about the solar system, and they covered ice worlds, which was another
Ooh,
really
that's cool.
interesting one. Yeah, and I didn't know as well that we have an asteroid belt that separates, Mars and the outer planets. There's like this, like they think there could be as many as 1 million of these asteroids that are, some of them are as big as Earth. It's crazy to think about. And they're constantly colliding with one another. And that's why every now and again something falls to Earth. It's because of,
Yeah.
a collision in space. And it's crazy. There's so much going on out there, Jay. I mean, you and I are very much concerned with what's happening at home, and we should be.
And we should
But
be.
our
Yeah.
home is actually quite a lot larger if you really want to put your mind out there, because we're all part of this crazy universe. It's wild. It's really interesting stuff.
I love this really reflective Barry that I'm hearing about that is,
Well, new
concerned
year,
about,
new me, Jay.
yeah, and concerned about the, not just Mars, but like the asteroid belt around Mars, which I
Yeah,
haven't ever heard about before. So
neither have
it's
I.
between Earth and Mars, or it's somewhere else. I'd
It's
love to know
it's
more
like
about the asteroid
it's
belt,
like on the other side of Mars. It's kind of like what
the
separates.
backside.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
you have to go through the asteroid belt to get to Saturn, to get to
Yeah, yeah.
Jupiter, to get to those outer planets. And I didn't know it was there either, but it's quite vast. And there's collisions happening all the time. And that's why occasionally things fall to Earth.
Okay. How often are these collisions happening when you say all the time? Like every 50 million years, or is it like every couple months?
Yeah, that again, they don't really
We don't
they don't
haven't
drill
got to that
down to that
episode.
level, right? Like there's only so many satellites that we have to record this stuff.
Yes.
And by the time it gets back, it might be old news, but I don't think it's hourly. Otherwise, we wouldn't exist probably, because like a big chunk might come down and, end the planet. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
thankfully, we're kind of protected in a way because there's a lot of space out there, Jay. So not everything that does collide and breaks apart is heading towards us. Thankfully, there's
Yeah.
other targets in the area,
I
which
love
is
that.
good.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
space out there, Jay.
there
That's a
truly
really
is.
that could be the title of the episode, potentially.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Real estate is aplenty in the
True.
cosmos.
That could
Yeah.
be the next big real estate frontier.
It really
It
could.
is, and you mentioned this, it is a tourist frontier. Why don't we do shot number
Yeah,
2? Let's come back. Let's talk about space potential, because we're
man.
basically, this is our final frontier episode. We've just dubbed it that
Yes.
because we're going in that direction. But before we do that, let's go in the direction of a shot. I'll tell you
Beautiful.
what I've got. Same thing as the first. Surprise, surprise. It's classic Jameson. Barry, what have you got?
Exactly the same thing I had to kick off the broadcast, Jay. And I'm delighted to be enjoying Bushmills 12 year. It's a premium item. Get yourself some today. Cheers.
Cheers. You really
Fantastic.
suck that air in like a straw. Did that help you savor some of the flavors and the notes, or just pure reflex?
Yeah, pretty much reflex. I'm
Okay,
still
good.
trying to figure out your technique of being able to toss a shot directly over the tongue. It's something I'll be working on throughout 26.
Yeah,
I
please
haven't
do.
mastered it
You
yet.
got to really exercise that tongue to lashes right up there.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the future potential of space and space tourism. It's already starting to happen among the
It is.
billionaire class and some of
Yep.
the more famous entertainers who have gone up to space, because they really
Yes.
should be the first group up there. Because if anyone
Oh,
gets
yeah.
a head start, it should go to the celebrities.
Yeah, I agree.
Barry, what do you think about space tourism?
I think it's a very cool idea. I don't know whether it'll be affordable in our lifetime. I mean, even if it got down to say 30 grand, that is still quite a chunk of dough for
Yeah,
something that lasts about 8 minutes, right?
true.
The tour, like you don't actually go into orbit and like dock with a space station, and it's not that.
Yeah,
It's like you get about as high as you can before you start coming back. Like it's apparently
yeah.
very short. Like you're only up there for I think it's only eight
Seconds or
minutes.
minutes. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I mean
for
you'd probably you have to ride a bull. You could ride a bull longer than it would take you to go into orbit.
I don't
So I
know
don't
that
know.
I
I
could,
mean I
but
don't think
yeah,
it'll be affordable in our lifetime.
I agree, and I don't know that I'm not sure if it's kind of the future. I think it's there
Yeah.
now. This is my what I think.
Hmm.
It seems to be it draws a lot of attention. It's getting some attention towards some of these rockets and all of that. And the ultra
Yeah, because
rich
it's
will always
sexy.
yeah, and the ultra rich will always want to do something and they've got the money to spend on it.
Yep.
But I feel it's like you know how laser discs were on the way to VHS. It didn't take off, even if it was a superior format. Betamax to VHS. I don't know why everything's going to VHS, but it's like I feel like something else is happening. But in the meantime, we're going to put some billionaires in space and some
Hmm.
celebrities in space. That's kind of something cool and sexy, gets us talking about it. But I think it'll be short lived, and then maybe we'll be investing in more exploration, like deeper exploration. We can actually send qualified people to like Mars or maybe Mercury to find out why it shouldn't exist. I think we should at least
Yeah.
send someone there
Yeah. I
to
mean,
check it
how do
out.
we know?
Yeah.
I mean, I
What
think
do you
one
think?
application that might be really interesting is how much you might be able to cut down travel time between, say, North America and Australia.
Beautiful.
If you were to
Yes.
go up high enough, you might be able to cut that trip to, say, I don't know, an hour instead of 24 hours, just because of how high you were able to get up there.
I
Now
love that.
that
So,
has interesting applications for
yes.
sure.
So space as opposed to space tourism in its own, in its as like a means to an end. It's like space
Hmm.
as a way to get tourism happening around the world maybe a little quicker.
Faster.
Yeah, because if we close the gap on Australia, like, well, watch out, we're going to be there.
I'm in.
We'll crowd the beaches like crazy.
Can you imagine
Who wouldn't
if
want to?
you were able to get there in an hour? Now it would probably still be very expensive,
Yep.
far more than any conventional flight.
Yep.
But instead of being in transit for 24 hours and multiple connections, to be able to be there in an hour would be crazy.
And if you could experience that 8 minutes of weightlessness while you were on the way, like if that was a perk to getting there, that's it. Because when you go up and you come back where you were, who cares? You've been there for 8 minutes. But to get there and then you're in Australia,
Whew.
now this is something, Barry. Could we
Now you
trademark
would.
this?
I mean, it's a good idea. You'd have to be able to stay up there at least long enough to get one drink or meal served, because
Yeah.
people are going to feel ripped off. If you're going to be spending, say, 40 grand to go to Australia and you bring your family,
Yeah.
uh, and you're up there and it's only 8 minutes. Although I guess because it is so short, you could just get something at the Sydney airport. I mean, what the hell? Just get something when you land. I mean, you don't want sandwiches floating through
No,
the fuselage anyway. I mean, you don't want
exactly.
that through the
It's
cabin.
it's dangerous and it's just
Yeah,
unprofessional is really what it is.
yeah, and your rum and diet would be going all over the place.
Yeah. You'd have to have a sippy cup on it or something to hold it in.
Yeah, it would.
Maybe an hour is not even practical, but maybe like 5 hours to Australia because then you get the sense that you're there. It seems a little bit more appropriate. I think an hour is pretty quick. I can get to Sudbury from Toronto in just about an hour.
Yeah,
I would
and
get
that's
there
not
in
cheap
five
to do.
seconds. If it, imagine they shoot you right up into space and come down just to go to Sudbury from Toronto to Sudbury. It's like 400 kilometers or whatever, and just like boom, boom, and that
That'd
seems
be
like almost
amazing.
wasteful. It
It
seems
does
a bit
feel like that.
wasteful.
Yeah. But also, why not? If you can do it. And the question is, like, again, what kind of fuel is being used to power these vessels, right? I mean, this is a
Yeah,
time when everyone is hyper focused on climate change and, whatever.
yeah,
You'd think that that would probably not be good for the overall environment, zipping up to
true.
like whatever the ionosphere, whatever that last layer of sphere is before you get into, actual the vacuum of space.
Yeah.
If you're going up there, I mean, imagine it gets to a point where they're able to like use it for shipping cargo, for example.
Ooh, also good.
How expensive would it be and what kind of propulsion fuel would you need to be able to blast up there? I don't know.
Yeah.
Won't be
What is
batteries. It ain't going to be batteries. You need something
no?
far more powerful.
What
So
did Professor Cox think about that? Did he get into that?
he didn't get into that.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet, but I look forward to watching the rest of Dark Worlds, and I'll be sure to report back.
How
'Cause,
many more episodes is there? Do you know, or does it just keep? Are you watching it live? Like it'll be on until it stops running, or
yeah, it's just kind of on, and I've just been recording when I was like, oh, I haven't
hmm,
seen Dark Worlds. I haven't seen Ice Worlds. He did one on gravity, which was really interesting, and I did see that. It was fantastic. It's fascinating. He was talking about gravity being like the sculptor of the universe, like basically all the pushing and pulling
okay,
forces happening on planets and everything that's floating up there is like things are constantly being shaped, sculpted
hmm,
as he puts it. So it's fascinating, and he's he's an interesting guy to listen to, but he does come off as sort of like your classic bookworm nerd, but he also has like that proper sort of British
yeah,
presentation about him, and so he's easy to listen to.
that always helps when they're British.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have.
totally.
I was thinking of one thing before we wrap up.
Yeah.
To kind of wrap things up on space, a couple of days from when this episode is released, we are going to be treated to the first episode of Starfleet Academy. The newest Star Trek series will be available on Space. I believe January 15th is the air date. So that's something you're going to
Wow.
set your PVR for. I will. I just saw a commercial for it. What do you think about Starfleet Academy, Barry?
Jay, you've caught me completely flat-footed. I had no idea that this series was even happening. This is the first I'm
Really?
even hearing about it. Starfleet Academy, I had no idea.
Okay, filmed in Toronto. It's sort of taking the place, I guess, of Strange New Worlds now that that's going to be ramping down. I believe Robert Picardo is in it as the hologram doctor. I
Oh
believe.
God.
I'm not sure from Voyager, but it's sort of like young.
Kind of my least favorite character. Him and Neelix were my least favorite of these Star Trek
Well, I'm
characters.
not
Gotta
selling
say
this
that.
for you. I think he's in it. I can't say
Yeah.
that 100%, but it is a younger cast. It's like Starfleet goes to school. It follows the young Starfleet cadets as they are in Starfleet Academy. I mean, I assume you're going to at least check it out for the
I'll definitely
continuity
check it
sake of
out.
it.
Yeah. It'd be great if they had like a Rodney Dangerfield back to school type character, like a bumbling oaf trying to make his way through Starfleet Academy. I think that'd be funny. I'll check it out. Yeah, sure. It's been a pleasure as always, Jay. I think we learned something today. And if you haven't, well, you can always listen to more on the BBC Earth channel and check it out. Professor Brian Cox, he's got a lot of really interesting documentaries, and primarily it's about, as he puts it, the universe. So if you're into that, and when we are, check it out. In the meantime, I hope 2026 has begun well for everyone out there, and we look forward to being with you again next week.
Thank you for listening to Two Shot Tuesday. The show is produced by Barry and I and edited by me. If you have yet to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, please take a second to do so now. It helps us grow, and it helps new audiences to find the show. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Two Shot Tuesday and on Twitter at Two Shot Tuesday Podcast. Stop by, give us a follow, leave us a comment, and share your favorite episodes. If you have a question you'd like featured on the show, you can send us a text at 647-486-4848. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.